quitting your goals right before you start them, quitting your goals shortly after you start them. Does this sound relatable to you? Because it does for me. But you know what? That's okay. That is okay. Why? Because two things. It's because, number one, half of the battle is just understanding it. And the other half, just doing it, is a lot easier to do it head on than others think. The leader of a not patient person is often dopamine hits and feeling good in the moment. Their objective is feeling good, not completing the goal. So what does that lead to? Well, it leads to a mindset where you instantly get burnt out, or after a little bit, because you expect to feel good by then. Well, it's not that black and white. In order to start feeling good from and or start reaping the success, it's most likely going to take a while for you. Here's the crazy thing about it is, even if you were flawed with your thinking that you're just going after the dopamine hit, because with that mindset, you will possibly be able to get a month or two in your goals. And if you do your goals, if you play your cards right, that is actually, I'm not saying you're going to complete your goals by then, because you're not, especially the big ones. But I'm saying is those dopamine hits, pride, confidence, proud of yourself, happy, less anxiety, enjoying life, thriving, not surviving. These come only after a short duration. You chase your most extreme goals, that's going to, number one, provide the best pleasure, and number two, as far as how fast the goal gets completed, it's going to be one of your fastest goals to complete because you're naturally driven within you to complete it. So don't compare your other goals to your big ones. Those are two completely different situations. So yes, even if you were flawed in your thinking about chasing dopamine, you can still get to a point after a short duration where you're feeling crazy good and enjoying life. I haven't had a bad day. I have depression. I haven't had a bad day in like 2 months, 3 months. Why is that? I'm using these positive techniques all to my advantage, and the more I add on, the harder it compounds. And like I said in previous videos, it all compounds into the infinity. People are judging their situations too early due to them being too impatient with their situation. That's what leads to most, I feel like that's like one of the big reasons why failures occur, is because we're not being given the weight of success fast enough. We're not getting enough quick enough. But the thing is, how most of our successes come through in our lives when we go for it is it starts as a tiny faucet barely dripping any water, and then that turns into a small stream, and then before you know it, you got an ocean of enjoyment. But with great power comes with great responsibility. This situation, the great responsibility being, you gotta let the situation play out. Honestly, if you're doing a goal you absolutely know that you want, but for some reason you aren't deriving any pleasure, there's two things I want you to ask yourself. Is this the goal you actually want to chase? And if it is, how can you make this part of your goal reframed to a more manageable way? Is that breaking it down mentally to moments in your day? Is it getting some sort of help? Is it making some sort of healthy improvement to your life? For example, me, I ended up quitting drinking permanently a few months ago because I wanted to solely focus on this channel, and I knew it would help my brain and thinking and discussions and doing stuff like juggling. One thing you're gonna need to learn when you're chasing your goals is dismissing your temporary negative emotions for future gain. Here's the thing, is you're gonna have your days where you won't wanna work out yourself. You wanna stay in bed, you're sick, a little bit sick maybe, or a little bit achy, or you're just simply no energy today to do it. You had a long day at work. Well, push yourself to get through that goal. If maybe you do need to stop if it's legitimately going to hurt yourself, but if it's not, and it's just at the end of the day procrastination or laziness, go do it anyways. Trust me. It's just, doing stuff when you don't want to do it is how you build up the pathways in your brain to make things become significantly easier in your life. So ultimately, my advice for you is to let your I suggest you just sit on decisions a little bit longer when you do have to make big decisions, like quitting out on your goals. Just at least sleep on it. Because at the end of the day, it's still going to sit there ready for you to decide in 24 hours. Use your logical part of the rational part of yourself. Because we're all animals at the end of the day, whether we want to admit it or not. Humans are animals too, and we have an animalistic mind when it comes to doing things immediately. But break through that, you know? You have sentience for a reason. Use that to your extreme advantage by just getting up and going and doing it. Just had something really wholesome happen just now. Had a family cheer at me when they saw me juggling and talking to you guys, but that was really wholesome and cool of them. Besides that, and guys, if you guys do hit the diamonds that is starting to work towards your long-term goals, as in like you're taking it seriously now, remember this on your lowest days. Don't forget why you started. For me, I started this channel for a couple reasons. Ultimately, if I can only use a couple of words why I started this channel, it's just making life contributions, trying to making other people's lives a lot easier in a really difficult world. And if I want to continue doing that, I need to keep on sticking to my gut. I've had already multiple times where I felt like I got close to not going out and doing it or pushing it off till tomorrow. But you know what? Just going ahead and going through with it has made this process automatic for me at this point, and so fun.